today in our demo session, we will be discussing about what exactly the meaning of cloud computing and the Salesforce CRM, and why Salesforce is in huge demand right now in the market, and what is the significance of Salesforce.com in cloud industry in market today. Okay, does anyone have any idea on the cloud computing and Salesforce CRM?
Yes, sir. Like this Santosh, maybe definition wise, I think like it is something like uh, whenever we want. So based on our demand or some resources will be available. I think that is what cloud computing is. So it is something like providing software or anything as a service and charging based on like how much we use that.
Correct. Yeah. The thing is, Salesforce will be providing three services. Like there are three services that are provided by the Salesforce. One is infrastructure as a service, software as a service, and platform as a service. Yeah, they will be provided on demand. That thing is like if you are a smaller organization, then you'll be capable of buying very small things. Like you'll be making use of the Salesforce CRM in very little amount of things, right? If you are MNC, then you can be able to afford much. The same way, Salesforce will be providing you as per your needs, as per your needs, in the sense, if you have limited number of users, like let's say like in your organization we have 10 users, then you will be providing you the licenses which are related to the just for 10 users. Like whereas in case of Oracle, in order to build your Oracle application, you need to have something in your on-premise. Like you need to install some of the servers in your premise, and you need to purchase the whole thing, whatever may be the size of the organization. Okay, that is overcome by using the Salesforce, like on demand. Okay, and what are the different cloud services provided to the customer? Okay, we'll see practically, and what are the different modules that we are going to cover as part of this course. Like as I said, like the Salesforce CRM will be providing us with three different cloud services. Like one is like software as a service, infrastructure as a service, and platform as a service, right? And now what exactly the meaning of cloud computing. So as someone like Abhilash, you only said, right? So what exactly the meaning of cloud computing, in the sense, as the name refers, cloud in the sense internet, right? What exactly the meaning of cloud computing, and the reasons why each and every company is adapting to the cloud computing, and what is the significance of cloud in current IT industry. Okay, from cloud computing, the word cloud refers to internet. Correct? Internet in the sense, by usage of internet, we'll be making use of the internet, we'll be computing, in the sense we'll be fulfilling our needs. Okay, so nowadays, like usage of internet is very high, right? So everyone is accessing the internet by using various devices like laptops, desktops, iPads, and smartphones, etc., right? So people are using various devices to access the internet and various applications and performing the transactions using the internet. This is what we call as the cloud computing, right? Let's say like in olden days, let some 10, at least some 10 years before, some 8 years or before. Okay, if you want to do any bank transaction, then what we need to do, like we need to manually, we need to go in person, we need to go to the visit the bank in person, and we need to stand in line and perform the transactions that we wanted to do, right? The same way, like if you want to go to the movie, you need to go to the theater a bit early, and we need to wait for the tickets and go to watch the movie. The same way for the utility bills and the mobile bills. Correct? Which means we are waiting in the lines in order to serve our requirement. But now the situation is totally completely different. Like we can do whatever we wanted to do from the electronic devices and the internet, by using the internet. Electronic devices in the sense, like laptop, desktop, your smart mobile, right? So by using that, from your electronic device, by using the internet, you can do whatever you wanted to do from the home itself. right? This is what we call the cloud computing. Okay, and let's say like whatever may be the thing, like banking transaction and paying the utility bill or anything, we can perform from our home, so that our time will not be wasted, and the transaction will be performed safely, right? And each and every organization has their own application in order to serve their business to the public, which can be performed by using the internet. Okay, this is the, like, in order to automate this business process, we'll be having two different types of applications, right? What are all the applications that we are using can be categorized into the two types. One is on-premise application and the other one is on-demand application. Okay, on-demand application is nothing but the cloud applications, right? First thing is, like, we need to understand what is on-premise application and what are the drawbacks of using it, and then we can be able to understand how come these drawbacks can be overcome by using the on-demand applications, which means cloud computing, right? And what is the importance of cloud in the industry, in the IT industry, right? And first of all, what is on-premise application? Does anyone have any idea what is on-premise application? Just now I spoke about Oracle application, right? Oracle servers. So generally, premise, in the sense, what is the meaning of premise? Premise is nothing but our area. That may be our room, our organization, our building, our network that access the applications, right? On-premise means whatever the applications that you are going to use, that should be available in our premise, which means a device that you are using, right? You understand this, right? What is on-premise application? In the sense, whatever may be the application that you are going to use, that should be available in our premise. In our premise, in the sense, for now we are talking about the applications in your device. In order to do your some banking application, right? That has to be installed in your device. That is what we call as the on-premise application. Okay. Any doubts till now? And as part of on-premise applications that you are using have to be available in the device, which means it has to be installed. It has to be installed and should be upgraded as per the needs. Like, as per, there will be, for every applications you will be seeing upgradations, right? For every, let's say like you are using the WhatsApp application, right? So for that WhatsApp application, let's say like some 6 to 8 times a month, 6 to 8 times a year, there will be some upgradation with some of the features adding to the WhatsApp. So every time, in order to use your application, that has to be installed in your system. The same way, it has to be upgraded as per the upgradation in order to perform better, right? For each and every upgradation, there will be some of the extra features will be added to the application that enhances your application usage and the performance, right? That is what we call as the on-premise application. And can any one of you give some examples of on-premise applications? Let's say like in your system, like MS Office, right? MS Office is an on-premise application. Like, if you want to use any of the features that are provided by the MS Office, you need to install the MS Office application in order to use those applications, right? Let's say like there are many number of applications that are provided, many number of features we can say, like MS Word, Excel, and Paint, right? All this is the combination of the features that are provided by the MS Office, right? In order to use those features, you need to install that particular MS Office, correct? The same way, if you want to, let's say like if you want to do any of the banking transactions, that has to be installed first from the Play Store or the App Store and have to be used, correct? Each mobile applications are on-premise applications, which requires the installation. Okay, let's say like if you are assuming to prepare the resume, we have to install the MS Office, and so that you can be able to use the MS Word from the MS Office, right? Correct. And if you want to see any of the videos, like you need to install a player, which may be like VLC media player. You can be able to, you must be able to install before going to play the video, right? And let's say like coming to the languages, like application in the sense that you are going to, as a developer, you will be going to develop the applications, right? Let's say like we have the C, C++, Java, SQL database, .NET, and almost each and every application by using these platforms will be the on-premise. Okay, in order to create the applications, we need to use the Java or .NET, right? Same way we use, like, in order to create the application in the sense by using the Java, that can be served as a platform as a service. Platform, not as a service, like it is not a cloud service, but that is also a service, but on-premise service. Like if you want to write any of the Java or the .NET code, you need to have some of the installations to be available. Like Java should be installed in your system, and some of the editors should be installed in your system, so that you can be able to write the Java or the .NET code. The same way, for every application, we'll be having the databases, right? Like we have in the market, we have SQL database, RQL database. Those also we need which requires the installation, right? It requires the pre-installations of the software into your local system. Correct. As part of these on-premise, we have some of the drawbacks, like pre-installations into our local device, right? First thing is like we need to install the applications into our local device. In this case, most of the people are already using this, right? Correct? Let's say like I am using the Java programming language to build the application. Okay, in order to build the Java application, we need to have the Java to be installed. In order to build this, let's say like you need this Java to be installed in your system, right? Let's say like we have some of the people may be using desktop, laptop, or the smartphone or tabs, right? All these people would like to use the Java application. Then if you consider desktop, if let's say like someone is using the desktop, okay, they wants to write the application, create the application by using the Java. Okay, then in order to create the Java application, we need to have the Java to be installed in our system, right? Desktop will support. The same way laptop will be supporting. But the thing is like others, like normal phones, smartphones, or tabs that are not using the Java applications. Like you cannot install Java in these things, right? So it will be difficult to create the application from the Java, from your smartphones or the tabs. Okay, even though they are using high configurations also. Even though, let's say like your what is the configuration of your system, like let's say like 8 GB RAM and some 1 TB data, 1 TB hard disk. The same way your mobile will be having some 16 GB RAM and some let's say like 16 GB RAM and some 512 GB ROM. Okay, even then you cannot install the Java application in your smartphone, correct? So in order to use the Java programming language, they have to maintain high configuration system, correct? Any doubts? Okay, and let's say like if you want to use the SAP application, in order to use the SAP application, we need to have the high configuration systems like 16 GB RAM. Okay, and all the customers cannot afford to have those high configuration systems, right? So that will be losing the customers, customers in the sense finally the business, correct? And we'll be losing the revenue. And this is the major drawback, that you cannot you need to install the things before using the application, right? That is the major drawback. And the other thing is like all the devices will not be able to support support the installations, right? And this way we'll be losing the customers and revenue and the profits. And the final one would be the upgradation problem. Like for each and every release, you need to upgrade your application, right? Upgrading in the sense installing the latest version. Let's say like I have purchased the MS Office for my desktop. Okay, so for my currently I have some Windows 7 MS Office version is 2007. Okay, let's say like for next 3 years, like we have the upgradation which is like 2010 upgradation, right? So we need to buy that license and we need to update that to the 2010 in order to use the latest features. Okay, and in order to use this latest version, we have to buy the MS Office 2010 version, and so that we can be able to enjoy the new features. And after that we have the latest version which is 2013, correct? And then we need to upgrade to that, and so that we can be able to use the latest you mean to say like latest features. Okay, every time we have to buy the latest version of MS Office, and then we have to buy the license with huge amount on, and then you can be able to enjoy the services from there, correct? This is very risky, and if everything is fine, the business will run smoothly. Then sometimes let's say like some small organizations cannot afford this, right, for all the upgradations things. So the people are not interested to utilize the applications with on-premise. These are the drawbacks when compared with the on-demand applications, right? Any questions? And the thing is like, so in order to overcome those on-premise the drawbacks of the on-premise applications, we have this on-demand application, which is called the cloud application. Like this particular cloud application does not require any of the installations, and we need to have only the browser. Browser is inbuilt in your system, in your operating system, right? So what are the advantages of cloud computing is like, we can be able to use your application by using the internet, and you will be paying for what you use. Okay, let's say like this is a kind of house rent, right? For how many days you will be there in your house, you will be paying the rent, otherwise you will not be paying, right? Like, and cloud computing is a concept that is introduced to introduce the rental basis to the IT industry, right? Which is nothing but the concept which provides the various approaches of accessing the IT resources by using the internet and paying the rental amount to the vendor, like which is pay for what you use, correct? Pay per use concept, right? And there are services provided by the Salesforce. Cloud computing in the sense platform as a service, software as a service, and infrastructure as a service. This is all about the cloud computing and the Salesforce CRM. And now we have some of the Salesforce terminology which are specific to the Salesforce terminology. Okay, like let me share my screen and show you. Yeah, let me share my screen. Okay, we want to know what are the prerequisites. Srijana Prasad. Okay, like so we need to know any coding knowledge. Okay, Okay, Shrujana Prasad, right? We want to know what are the prerequisites. Prerequisites in the sense, let's say like in the Salesforce, we'll be having two parts like administration and the customization, right? Administration in the sense, we'll be using the Salesforce CRM features that are provided by the Salesforce company. Like we'll be having like custom objects, custom applications, objects, fields, and email templates, workflows, email alerts, workflows in the sense workflow, actions, and process builders, flows, and formula fields, and validation rules, and email alerts, security settings, security related stuff. Okay, these are all comes under the administration. In the sense, you no need to have any of the coding knowledge. Okay, so and the other one is like we have the customization. So let's say like Salesforce will be, as I said, like Salesforce will be providing us the software as a service by default, right? By default, in the sense, Salesforce will be providing us with the some of the standard features. Standard features in the sense, will it's by default Salesforce will be providing us with, let's say like we have the applications, right? By default, Salesforce will be providing us with the some of the standard Salesforce applications. Let's say like sales, service, marketing, so on, right? The same way, if you want to use those standard applications, you can be able to use for your business. And if you want to customize in the sense, you can be able to create your own custom applications. Your own custom applications in the sense, these are all the standard things. You no need to have any of the no development is involved, like coding is involved in these kind of parts. Okay, let's say like for example in Java, okay, let's say like in Java we have the functionality to create a record. Okay, create a record and do some DML operations on the record. Okay, for example, this is one example. Okay, let's say like if you are considering the some of the user interface to create the record, on clicking on the save, it has to be saved to the database, and you need to provide some of the buttons in order to edit and delete the record. In let's say like let's consider this example in the Java. Okay, first thing is like you need to have the user interface. Let's say like in the user interface you need to have some header and some input fields such as name, input fields such as name, email address, name, let's say like first name, last name, email address, phone, mobile, billing address, shipping address, and this way you may be having some n number of fields. Okay, some around 20 fields. In order to create the record, you need to fill those fields and then you need to save the record. And in order to save, you need to have the save button and cancel button. Okay, let's say like this is the UI that is required to create a record, right? UI in the sense first name will be the label, and you will be providing the some text field here, text box beside the first name. The same way label would be the last name, and you will be providing with the text box. Okay, these kind of UI you need to build, and you need to provide the save button and the cancel button, and on clicking on the save you need to save this particular record into the system, into the some table in the sense some object. Correct? On cancelling you need to cancel the creation of the record. Okay, this is the basic functionality, basic requirement. Okay, if you consider this functionality to be built in the Java application by using the Java for each and everything, like for UI, for the label, and for the text box, and for all these 20 fields you need to have the label on the text box for each, and you need to create the save button and the cancel button. On clicking on the save button you need to have some functionality to be written on that, right? So everything, each and everything should be written in the backend, right? In order to see the UI you need to write the functionality. On clicking on some of the buttons or the links in the backend, there will be the purpose of the buttons will be need to be built, like they have to be defined in the backend. So each and everything, whatever may be the functionality that you wanted to build, it has to be written in other languages. Whereas in case of Salesforce, like we have some of the functionalities already built. Like in order to create the record, you no need to write any of the functionalities. Okay, those kind of basic functionalities will be already given in the Salesforce. And if you want to have more than these, then you need to extend your functionality by using the development. Okay, this is what it is. And let me show you in organization. Okay, this is the developer sandbox, developer edition, free edition developer box, wherein we'll be provided with all the standard Salesforce functionalities. As I said, like we were discussing about the account record creation, right? So here, how can you create the account record directly? These are all the tabs that are provided by the Salesforce by standard itself. No need to create anything here. So you'll be having the account tab. In order to create any of your account record, you directly need to go to the tab and click on the account. Okay, and then you'll be navigated to the account tab record, account tab. And if you want to create the new account record, you just need to click on the new record. Okay, this is the basic functionality that will be provided by the Salesforce. Let's say like we did not write any line of any piece of code to show all these. Okay, these are all the almost 80% of the functionality will be like, when comparing with the other technologies, 80% of the functionalities will be by default will be provided by the Salesforce. If you want to extend your functionalities, you need to go for the development. Okay, any questions? See, just let me give you like Salesforce batch. Okay, just we need to fill some of the fields here. Let's say like 4, 1, 2, 3. And facts. We need to give some of the fields, and then click on the save button here. Here in the address information, we did not write any of the code here in order to show all this. Okay, by default Salesforce will be providing us with some of the basic things like applications, custom objects, and custom fields, page layouts, validation rules, formula fields, workflow rules, process builders, flows. These are all the drag and drop things that with most of the 80% of the functionalities can be achieved by using this drag and drops, like administration part. But you need to, there will be in real time, there are some of the applications that are completely built by using the coding. Okay, I need to click on the save. Then this particular record will be saved in a, okay, there are some of the validation records. Okay, so let's say like, okay, this way the record will be saved and we got navigated to the detail page. So in other languages we need to build everything. In the create page you need to build, and detail page you need to build everything for each and everything, whatever the things that you are performing in the application, that has to be written in the code. But whereas in case of Salesforce, major stuff will be already taken care by the Salesforce, and in order to enhance your functionalities to fulfill your business requirements, you will be going to the customization. But the thing is, both are important, equally important. Administration part is important, the same way customization part is also important. So if you consider the customization part, we have some of the languages, like we have Visual Force pages and Apex language. Apex language, this is the Salesforce related language. Okay, these are the two things that we need to learn as part of development. Now we have the Lightning. Okay, Lightning, Aura components on the Lightning web components. Okay, this is all about the Salesforce. Okay, and coming to the Salesforce terminology. Okay, okay, Salesforce terminology in the sense, in Salesforce by default there are some of the standard objects that are provided. Like if you consider Salesforce is main, what is the name of this Salesforce? Salesforce CRM, correct? CRM is nothing but the customer relationship management, correct? Majorly Salesforce provides the CRM part, but the thing is like we can build whatever may be the type of application that we can perform, like we can create by using the Salesforce. Not only the CRM, we can have the sales application. Someone messaged, what is that? Can you share full course content, integration part included? Yeah, I'll be sharing you the code content, Ram. You can collect that from the Harsha Technologies. Okay, okay, so in the sense, CRM process are the CRM life cycle. CRM life cycle. What is this CRM process or the CRM life cycle? In the sense, so for your business, what are the things? What is the starting point that your business starts with? An idea, right? And you have your product. So what is the business? Business in the sense, you need to let the people know about your product, and you need to sell the product, and you'll be having some revenue generated by selling the product, right? And we need to provide some service after your product got sold to the customer. right? This is what we call as the life cycle. Life cycle in the sense, first thing is like you need to campaign your product. Okay, so campaign is nothing but marketing. Like there are a number of marketing ways, like you can send SMS, you can send your emails, you can have the some stalls, you can have the open announcements, these kind of campaigns. Campaign is nothing but the marketing strategy, whatever may be the marketing strategy, right? First thing what you need to do is like you need to campaign your product, correct? And from this campaign some of the leads will be generated. Leads are nothing but leads are the prospects. Like these leads or prospects are nothing but the people who shows interest on your product. Okay, on your product, these prospects will be generated from the campaigns. Okay, okay. And someone Sai Teja asking like what is the main difference between the Salesforce, Pega and SAP? I'm not sure on the Pega, but I can tell you about what the differences between the Salesforce and the SAP. Okay, so both will be providing us with the application development part, right? Salesforce will be like it's a cloud application, which is nothing but the on-demand application. Whereas in case of SAP, that is the on-premise application. Okay, even though the products that are delivered from by using Salesforce CRM and the SAP CRM are both, but the thing is like these are the advantages, like advantages in the sense it is an on-demand application and pay for what you use, and Salesforce will be free upgradations. No installations are required for the Salesforce CRM, and free upgradations for every 4 months. Like let's say like in a year we'll be having 3 upgradations. One is 3 releases, like summer release, winter release and spring release. These are all free for the free for Salesforce CRM. Whereas in case of SAP CRM, all the things will be you need to buy, not like rental prices. You need to buy whole thing, even though if you want to use a little bit of the whole thing. Okay, that is a major difference. And in the CRM part, Salesforce CRM is the leading partner throughout the world. Okay, let's say like it's on comparing between Salesforce and the SAP, some 100 times it differs when comparing with the SAP. 100 times greater than the SAP market, 100 times bigger than the SAP market. Salesforce market is 100 times bigger than the SAP market. Okay, yeah. And we are discussing like campaigns, right? Okay, and leads are prospects. Leads are prospects in the sense these are the people which shows interest on your product. Okay, and these leads are generated from the campaigns. Okay, so from these leads we'll be having the account details and the contacts and the opportunity. Okay, a lead is just a prospect who shows interest on your product, right? That is not the revenue generated one. It will not generate the revenue 100%. That may be generating the revenue or may not be generating the revenue. Okay, from the lead we'll be having the account, contacts. If everything works out, we'll be having the opportunity. Opportunity is nothing but the revenue generation. Okay, and you have the opportunity created, which means your business is done, right? You sold your product to the customer. Okay, so which means your opportunity is created, which means the business is done with the customer. Okay, after that, from campaigns to the opportunities, this is nothing but the sales. We call this as the sales process. Okay, and then after selling your product, okay, then comes the service part. Correct? Service part is nothing but we have the cases, solutions, and knowledge base. Feedback. Okay, these are the objects that comes under service part. And we have in order to see the growth of your business, you need some of the pictorial representations, right? So in order to see the growth of your business, we have these two objects like reports and the dashboards. These two reports and dashboards helps to have the pictorial representation and day-to-day growth or the declination, whatever may be the thing, in order to see what exactly the business is doing. That pictorial representation can be done by using this reports and the dashboards. Okay, and as I said, like, we have three types of services provided by the Salesforce CRM. Okay, first one is IaaS, which is nothing but the infrastructure as a service. Okay, and PaaS, which is the platform as a and third one SaaS, which is nothing but the software as a service. Okay, these are all the just an introduction. In the later sessions, we will be briefly discussing about all these things. Okay, what is the CRM process, what is this IaaS, PaaS and SaaS, and the different cloud services provided, different clouds available in the Salesforce. Like, we have the Sales Cloud, we have Service Cloud, Marketing Cloud, and we have this App Cloud. In the sense, in this we have two features, like first one is Force.com platform and the second one is database.com, right? Database.com in the sense, database that is required to store your data, and we have data.com, slash, which is Jigsaw, what we call this as the Jigsaw. And we have the collaboration cloud. Collaboration cloud is nothing but the chatter. Okay, and Salesforce Einstein platform. Okay, this way we have many number of clouds. Okay, any questions? Jesse asking some question, right? Example for IaaS and the PaaS. Okay, yeah, we'll be discussing that later in a session, but IaaS is nothing but the infrastructure. Infrastructure in the sense, when compared with the on-premise, you need to have all the servers in order to store your data in your premise, right? The same way Salesforce will be providing us the infrastructure as a service, which is nothing but the servers in the sense, let's say like it's a huge topic. Let me explain you briefly. Okay, servers in the sense, throughout the world we have different service stations, not in your premise, but for your organization, Salesforce will be providing a separate space for your organizational data in order to store your organizational data. Let's say like we have in North America and Europe region, which is EU. Europe in the sense EMEA region, right?
Yeah. Hi, Rakesh. Just
EMEA.
so okay, I'm just looking for the names and not the full explanation. See, SaaS, software as a service, I think Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Marketing Cloud would come as an example, right? So
No,
for no, it's not. Okay.
no. These are all the clouds provided by the Salesforce.
Okay.
Yeah, and okay, Amazon, sorry, IaaS in the sense service, servers. Okay, whereas in case of platform, platform is nothing but the Salesforce will be having the force.com platform in order to build your customized application. This is the platform that is provided by the Salesforce, which acts as a platform as a service.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any questions? Any questions, anyone? You can.